Good evening. Today is July 30, and this looks like a good time to do a short demonstration of the 4 tomato varieties that I chose to grow this year. I would say overall, they are all satisfactory. I don't have any here that I would advise anyone not to grow, but I do have some leans one way or another. I'll first start with this one that is the Independence Day tomato. It's advertised to ripen the first week of July, and I would agree that it does come close to the marketing, and I would be able to harvest these July 8th, 9th or so, and here it is late July, and I'm still getting them. This is a sweet variety, leans more towards the cherry or grape tomato types. It's about a golf ball size, and I would usually just cut this in half and maybe put it in a salad or a soft taco or something. It's not quite what I was looking for. I wanted more of a deeper tomato taste, and I'm a little disappointed with how easily it splits. So it's maybe not my favorite of the 4, but I'm eating them. There's nothing really bad about these. Just to cut one open here and demonstrate. I notice these usually are fairly pulpy, so not an extraordinarily juicy type tomato. So that's what you get, and as I said, I have no complaints with it, but I probably am not going to make a great effort to keep growing these. I'll continue to try other varieties I like more. This next type is called Early Girl, and this tomato I think is about 65 grams, around 2 ounces in size. Early Girl is meant to be an early ripening variety, and I don't necessarily find that to be the case. I noticed them turning red a little earlier than the tomatoes that I might have expected. They turn red a little faster than the Independence Day, but they don't necessarily ripen inside as fast as the Independence Day, in my opinion. Typically, the appearance of these is a little bit heart-shaped, if you can see the point on the bottom, and sometimes there's some mottling of orange. So when I slice into one of these, sometimes I find the internal veins are still a bit green, even though it turned red on the outside. That would probably be my only real criticism. It also leans a little bit towards the sweet side, and so it's not a deep tomato flavor, but nice enough. I'm willing to eat the ones that I have. This one is called Super Sue, and I measured the weight of this. I think it was 125 grams, so about 4.5 ounces. I really like these. It's a good mid-range tomato flavor. It's not especially acidic, and everything seems very balanced in terms of moisture, in terms of flavor, and I also experimented with the seeds. I took the seeds of a tomato, and they are all very willing to germinate, so I'll cut in here. And a very good balance of juice and pulp. So I've actually donated some of these to my parents, and I gave them for tomato salad. And my dad liked these. And finally, this largest one is an Abe Lincoln tomato. And my understanding of Abe Lincoln is there's an heirloom variety from the 1920s that is more ribbed around the sides, and there's a 1970s version that was re-released, which is probably what I have here. Notice the June bugs did start to chew and get some juice from it, but I don't think there's any grubs inside this tomato. It's just the June bugs trying to get some moisture from it. The weight of this was 270 grams or so, so it's very good size. 270 grams would be about 9.5 ounces. So this is a good slicing tomato you could put on a sandwich or something, and we'll take a look inside. So plenty of gel and chambers in there, and I see a bit of greenish, so you got to be patient with these large ones, let them ripen fully. Certainly tonight I'm going to be eating tomatoes with garlic crackers, finishing these off after making the video. Overall, I would say they're all pretty comparable, just that what I notice is the Independence Day, the small one, was a little less cold tolerant than the early girls. So maybe that matters more, get an early fruit. And I did feel like the Abe Lincoln was a bit fussy to germinate. I had to retry the seeds a few times to get vines, but I will also admit the vine for the Abe Lincoln or the Super Sioux is very large. It's a big spreading indeterminate and it's outgrowing the cage. So if you want something that'll just keep making fruit into the late summer, it will do that. If I had to offer any criticism of the Abe Lincoln, I think it would just be that the flavor doesn't quite match up with the presentation of the tomato. It looks like a big, heavy tomato. You might expect a deep flavor. It's a lighter flavored tomato, but perfectly good. And I'm going to pick and eat all of the ones I have. So that's my first tomato comparison, as opposed to talking about avocados all the time. And I'll make another video when I have some content to present to everyone.